Stop thinking an IPO gives you shareholder rights. Seriously. If you think buying SpaceX stock means you have a say in the company, you're about to learn a very expensive lesson. Here is the counterintuitive truth that the prospectus won't put on the cover. SpaceX is not selling you ownership. They're selling you Elon Musk's charity. $75 billion raised, $1.75 trillion valuation, the biggest IPO in history. But here's what they're not telling you. Musk has 42.5% equity, but 83.8% voting control. You can't fire him. Only he can fire himself. You waive your right to a jury trial and class actions. Texas law, not Delaware. Investor protections? Minimal. A shareholder proposal costs $1 million or 3% ownership. One fund manager said, "I would rather have him making these decisions." Translation: I'm giving up my rights because I trust Elon. Let me break down exactly what you're buying. And stay until the end for the 3 secrets that will change how you view every founder-controlled IPO from now on. I'll admit something. When Tesla went public, I didn't buy because I thought the valuation was crazy. I missed a 2,000% gain. This time, I'm reading the fine print before I decide. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what SpaceX is offering and what they're taking away. We're going to look at the supervoting shares, the Texas Incorporation, the forced arbitration, the shareholder proposal rules. By the end, you will understand why this IPO is unlike anything Wall Street has ever seen. Stay with me. Let's start with the most important number in the entire prospectus, 83.8%. That's Elon Musk's voting control percentage. How does this work? 3 classes of stock. Class A, public shareholders, 1 vote per share. Class B, insiders and early employees, 10 votes per share. Supervoting shares, reserved for Elon Musk, voting power that no one else gets. The math. Musk owns about 42.5% of the equity, but he controls 83.8% of the votes. What does that mean in practice? The public cannot outvote him, even if every public shareholder united against him, even if every institution voted no. Musk's vote alone is enough to approve any decision. The counterintuitive truth? You are not buying decision-making power. You are buying Elon Musk's decision-making power. If you trust him, that's fine. If you don't, you have no recourse. And no one can fire him. Literally, the board cannot remove Musk. Shareholders cannot vote him out. Only Musk can decide to leave. Now let me talk about the legal framework. SpaceX is incorporated in Texas, not Delaware, where most public companies are incorporated. Why does this matter? Delaware has a century of corporate law precedents, courts that specialize in shareholder disputes, strong protections for minority shareholders. Texas? Not so much. The history. SpaceX moved its incorporation from Delaware to Texas in 2024. The move followed a Delaware judge striking down Musk's $56 billion Tesla pay package. Musk was furious. He moved SpaceX and then Tesla to Texas. What Texas law means for SpaceX shareholders: weaker fiduciary duty protections, less established case law for shareholder disputes, courts less experienced with complex corporate litigation. The counterintuitive truth? Delaware's investor protections were designed for situations exactly like SpaceX. Texas's laws are less tested, less shareholder-friendly. If something goes wrong, you're in an untested legal environment. Now let me show you the clause that lawyers will, really obsess over. Forced arbitration. Every SpaceX shareholder, by buying stock, is waiving 2 fundamental rights. 1. The right to a jury trial. If you have a dispute with SpaceX or its management, you cannot take them to court. You must go to private arbitration. It's a closed process. No public record, no jury. 2. The right to class actions. If SpaceX does something that harms thousands of shareholders, you cannot band together. Each shareholder must pursue their claim individually. So, why does this matter? Class actions are how shareholders hold companies accountable. They pool resources, share legal costs, and amplify small claims. Without class actions, a single investor with a $10,000 stake just cannot afford to fight a $1.75 trillion company. And here's the counterintuitive truth. Forced arbitration is designed to make lawsuits pretty much impossible. Even if SpaceX does something wrong, shareholders cannot effectively challenge them. This is not accidental. This is intentional. Now let me show you just how hard it is to actually get a word in as a shareholder. Under Texas law, if you want to propose a shareholder resolution, you need to meet one of two options. Option A, own $1 million worth of stock, or Option B, own 3% of the company. This is absolutely not normal. Under SEC rules, any shareholder with just $2,000 or 1% of shares can propose a resolution. But Texas has a much higher threshold. So what does this mean in practice? Well, almost no public shareholder will ever be able to propose anything. Only institutions with massive stakes, or Musk himself, can really bring resolutions. The counterintuitive truth here is that shareholders technically have a right to propose, but practically, that right is pretty much worthless. The $1 million threshold excludes 99.9% of investors. After all these risks, why will anyone still buy? There are three reasons. Reason 1, FOMO, or the fear of missing out. One investor actually said it directly. It's hard not to buy. If SpaceX soars and you don't own it, you will underperform. This is the same force that drove Tesla from $17 to $389. Reason 2, the Tesla precedent. Tesla IPO'd at $17 back in 2012. Today, it's near $389. Early Tesla shareholders made a fortune. SpaceX could be the same story, or it could be different. But the memory of Tesla's gains is a powerful motivation. Reason 3, trust in Elon. One fund manager put it simply, I would rather have him making these decisions. Some investors genuinely believe Musk's vision is worth the lack of accountability. They aren't really buying stock, they're buying Elon. The counterintuitive truth? Investors are making a rational bet based on trust. They know they have no rights, but they're buying anyway, because they believe Musk's upside outweighs the governance risks. For Tesla shareholders, that bet paid off. For SpaceX, well, we'll see. Let me leave you with the 3 secrets that really connect everything we've just discussed. Secret number 1, the controlled company reality. Controlled company isn't just some legal loophole, it's honestly a different species of company. Independent committees? Not required. Minority shareholder protections? Pretty minimal. You're not buying a democracy here, you're buying a monarchy with Musk as king. Secret number 2, the Texas arbitrage. SpaceX moved to Texas for a reason. Lower taxes, weaker shareholder protections, and courts that are less likely to challenge Musk. The move wasn't about convenience, it was about control. And honestly, shareholders bear the cost of that control. Secret number 3, the FOMO versus rights trade-off. Every investor has to make a choice. Do you want maximum upside or maximum protection? With SpaceX, you simply can't have both. Musk's unaccountable power enables rapid decision-making, which is good for returns. But if things go wrong, you have no recourse. The trade-off is real, so know which side you're on. Here is my question for you. Would you buy SpaceX stock knowing you have no voting power, no jury trial, no class actions, and, honestly, effectively no recourse? Or is the potential reward worth the lack of accountability? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. Like and subscribe if you want more myth-busting analysis on the biggest IPOs before the hype takes over. I'll see you in the next video.